What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? So we're going to talk about Tesarion now. Okay, let's take a look at his skills first. Increases effect accuracy by 25%. Increases resistance of allies by 41%. Increases the damage inflicted on enemies with harmful effects by 20% and makes an enemy oblivious for 2 turns with each attack. Passive skills aren't activated on Oblivion state, so it excludes boss monsters. Attacks the enemy 3 times with magic and weakens the defense for 2 turns with a 30% chance for each attack. Alright. Attacks with magical powers and inflicts continuous damage for 2 turns with a 50% chance. The damage increases according to attack speed. Okay. So I have mixed feelings about Tesarion. In my God's honest opinion, I think he's a little overrated. All right, I'm gonna tell you guys why. First of all, this skill, yes, it's a nice skill, yes, but violent runes kind of kill this skill. All right. Most monsters that have a passive effect that you want to put in oblivious state have violent runes on them, like Perna, Camilla. Who else can I think of right now? Those are the 2 main ones. Okay, Perna and Camilla. So, if they violent proc out of this, pretty much all they got to do is take their regular turn and violent proc once, and Oblivion is done. Not only that, Oblivion can't be put on when immunity's on, and then you can cleanse Oblivion as well. I think that this monster is a little bit on the overrated side. Is he good? Yes, he is good. Do I believe he is a game-changing monster? Not really. Seriously, not 100% really. Oblivion can also be resisted as well. Not only can it be cleansed and immunity, it can be resisted as well. So it's like, sometimes it's like, what's the point of putting him on the team? How would I ruin him? I've heard some people ruin him as an attacker. I definitely disagree with ruining him as an attacker, because you're usually going to take him against monsters like Camilla. And I've heard that his first skill can hit as hard as my Theomars or harder. I really don't believe that. I've seen it, but when I saw it, the guy he was in Conqueror 1, I think, and I'm using my Theomars in Conqueror 3 Guardian. So there's differences in defense. Even if you put defense break on, there's a big difference on defense. Okay, it's just defense break just breaks defense, but if you've got a monster, let's just say defense break is 30%. I'm really not 100% sure what the defense break defense buff is. If it's 50% or if it's 30%. I think it's 50% less defense though. But for argument's sake, well, you know what? Let's just say 50%. And the monster has 1,000 defense. Okay? And you put defense break on them. They're going to have 500 defense. But if the monster has 750 defense, which is probably where it's usually around in Conqueror 1, or even 800 defense, it's going down to 375 to 400. We're talking about 125 defense difference. You can't see what it is exactly. All right? So, and I've noticed, I'm going to give you guys a perfect example on defense, and I know we're going a little off subject here, but this is just to prove my point. I fought one of my guildmates' defenses the other day, and for some reason, his Chloe wouldn't die. Like, I'm telling you, it took me forever to kill this Chloe. My Theomars hit 17,000 without a buff, anywhere from 17 to 20,000 without a buff, in Guardian level, on an armor broken monster. I armor broke his Chloe, and my Theomars only did 12,000. Only did a 12,000 hit. And then I go and I look at his Chloe, and she's got over 1,000 defense, which is it's just insane. All right, so this is the difference that I'm talking about with defense. He's still, I think he had like 11 or 1200 defense on her. So let's say his defense still went down to 600. She's still tanky as hell. It's hard to kill that Chloe. So anyway, that's just the difference with defense and all of that. Now, how would I ruin him? Seriously, I would ruin him speed. This one I would ruin with speed. Speed, hit point, hit point. If in the beginning and you get lucky and you pull him, swift, focus. A little later, late game, late game, I would ruin him probably violent focus. Those are pretty much the only, violent. If you're going into mid game and you're collecting violent runes, and you're collecting revenge runes, you go swift revenge or violent revenge. And then when you're going into late game, you could do you could do violent focus or violent revenge. Just remember to have your accuracy as high as possible, which accuracy shouldn't be a huge problem with him because he has 40% accuracy off the bat. So you'll be able to get a decent amount of accuracy on him. So an endgame build would be violent revenge, speed, hit point, and it stays that way from beginning to mid to late. You don't want him to die. You want him to be able to take hits. All right. You want to look for accuracy, speed substats, and hit point substats. That's basically all you want him there for. He's a utility monster. They say hit point, and I guess he is hit point. He's really not that much of a support monster because he doesn't do anything for your team necessarily. He puts a debuff on the enemy team. So I would make him speed, hit point. Utilize the fact that he has over 11,000 base hit points, which is really good on him. And try and get the skill to go off as much as possible. All right. He also hits harder anyway for each debuff on a monster, so that's a nice little boost for him anyways. So this probably makes sense on why he ruined him an attacker. That makes a little more sense. But still, I wouldn't depend on him as an attacker. I would depend on him to put monsters in oblivion state. And what's really good about putting revenge on him, let's say you're fighting a Perna or a Camilla, and the Camilla hits him and violent procs and comes out of oblivion, and he revenges and puts her back into oblivion, it's like nothing happened. So you can also go that route as well. That's what's good about him. Now, is he the best one of the Ifrits? Of the 4 counterparts, no. Veromos is still the best one. Is he the best one of the 3? I still think it's Theomars by a slight, very slight advantage. Very slight. I might be a little bit on the racist side, and will say the reason why I say it is because I have Theomars and I don't have Tesarion. But I had these thoughts about him before, and another reason why I might be on this side is because he's a little bit on the overhyped side, way overhyped side. Okay, I don't think he's as good as everybody says he is, but I do think he's good. Don't get me wrong on me. I don't think he's a bad monster. All right, if I had to give him a rating from 1 to 10, I'd give him like a 7.5, and Theomars like an 8. You know, which is still high for both of them, but that's where I would put both. Well, that's where I would put the both of them. But all right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll talk to everybody later.